I got a great question from D Moore, who emailed me and said, look, Curtis, as a producer, is it a bad idea to give your honest opinions on social media about other rappers' music that you think is garbage? He wrote more. Let's continue after the break. Producers, and I'm sure there's some rappers who want to go ahead and express their opinions about somebody else's music. Let me go ahead and reiterate the question and everything else that D Moore wrote, because I'm sure it's a topic that a lot of you have dealt with. I want to address this more to producers, so let's go and do this. He says, as a producer, is it a bad idea to give your honest opinions on social media about other rappers' music that you think is garbage? Although I dislike their rapping ability, I don't want to mess up my chances of possibly working with some of them in the future. We live in an era where if you do get famous, people could go back and dig up all of your old tweets and put you on blast. Yes, we do live in that era, D Moore. Let me address it as such. What this to me really is a question of, I guess, in some producers' minds, their business ethics. And, you know, where do you draw the line between, you know, serving the general customers? And, you know, when you put your beats up for release and you make it available to the public, you are making it available to everybody. So you don't really have the luxury you once had of, I'm only going to send my emails, I send my beats to certain emails or certain rappers. You don't have that luxury anymore. You would basically open up a store. You know, in any other place, I'm sorry, in any other place, this is a brick and mortar situation. In any other place where you say, I don't want anybody who's not up to standard coming into my store, it's called discrimination. In any other walk of life, that's discrimination. Now, I know we're in a very we're in a field where quality is subjective and all of these things are opinion, and we do have strong opinions about it because it's our work and it's we love it. But I'm sure that somebody in these stores, they love, you know, their art pieces that they create. So you have like an art gallery and you've spent so many hours on it. And somebody who doesn't appreciate art has $5,000 and comes in and they say, I'd like to get that little piece of work that you did for $5,000. And you say, wait a minute, it ain't no little piece. Shut up, 10,000. You like, hold on, partner. Hold on, partner. In that situation, you may want to say, nah, I ain't gonna take that. And he says, I do apologize, 25,000. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get beside myself. So you gotta sit up there and you really gotta judge your own morals in that situation and realize that, you know, there are no absolutes. And I think that when it comes to the money versus criticism situation, I think producers worry this way too much. They worry about, you know, if I critique somebody's work that I don't like, will they stop being a customer of mine? That's a great concern. That's an honest concern, and I understand that. I used to worry about that. Man, there's customers of mine that they always seem, and it's funny because the guys who are not that good seem to always have the money, right? Well, here's my thing to say to you. As a rebuttal to that, it doesn't matter how good they are. They're willing to invest into you. Epic made a great post on his Instagram this week, and I honestly want to look it up, but I want to speak to you as I look it up. But here's the thing. These people are willing to invest into you. And I can tell you from somebody that has been in the industry, somebody who has seen people who have taken advantage of the work that I've done, it's not always the norm to pay somebody for what they do. Let me tell you like this. Epic said, a lot of us online producers don't show enough gratitude to the artists that purchase music from us. We complain about how artists want free beats. We complain about how artists want to take over the world with us, but we never take a second and show gratitude for the fact that they would even consider our music good enough to want to do so. No one highlights the good, and I'm also a contributor to that. On today, I would like to thank all the artists who spend the money they make at their job to feed their family and in turn feed mine. Thank you for giving me a way to not have to deal with these lousy industry cucks. Thank you for loving my music so much you'd spend good money to use it. It means more to me than you know. Thank you. Hits the head on the nail. Really, what are we debating right here? You want to tell somebody that music is garbage? Why does that matter so much to you? Why do you feel the need, D Moore? I have to say this to you. Why do you feel the need to have to tell somebody that music is garbage? You know, one of my favorite quotes is that they don't make statues for critics. And I say that often because it's the truth. You know, you could think of somebody who is the greatest critic of all time, but what does that mean? Generally, I find that people who make a living out of critiquing everything and everybody. Like, you know, there's probably an image in your head of an old lady who is like, can you believe he married that son of a gun? Can you believe he's working that job? He's not even working. Can you believe? And you think of old folks who consume stuff like Maury Povich, and they consume, you know, used to be Jerry Springer and Steve Wilkos. They consume that because it makes them feel better about their life to critique everything around them. My thing is, if somebody is taking their hard-earned money that they could be using to feed themselves, feed their family, feed their household, why are you critiquing? Why the hell does it even matter? Now, if they ask you for honest criticism, I don't think garbage should be a word that comes out of your mouth to them. And I say that respectfully. I don't think that garbage should be even a word that comes out of your mouth to them. I don't think anything is garbage. One man's trash, another man's treasure. It's so true. And in this state, it's the same thing. There's nothing that is garbage. It's just not for you. And in your line of thinking, maybe you do have a meter that says it's either hot or it's garbage, or it's hot garbage. Whatever the case may be, I don't think that that's how somebody who conducts business as a professional, I don't think that's the way that you should talk to people. I think that if you don't like the music that's being done over it, you express that in private. You talk to them, maybe you send an email, maybe you have a discussion. If it's that important for you, right, and your music being represented. Now, if I heard somebody on top of one of my beats saying all kind of like racist slurs and disrespecting, you know, people that I love and all these different things, I would feel the need to say something, maybe even publicly at that point, and say, I don't agree with the views. I appreciate you. I would still say I appreciate you investing into what I'm doing, but I don't agree with your views. There's some things that fundamentally my business does not stand on, or just that stands on in terms of morals, but I cannot agree with this. I mean, there's a different way to go about that. For me to say, man, bro, you garbage for doing that shit. For somebody that maybe that's their spiel. Maybe that's your brand. Maybe you're that guy I'm the real deal guy. I don't pull no punches. Maybe people love you for that. But I'm going to tell you like this. At some point in time, people are going to get tired of this shit. They're going to get tired of you always having to be the guy that critiques everything and everybody. Even when you're just. Because at some point in time, the question becomes, but what are you doing? Why do you have time to go ahead and say things are garbage around you? You as a businessman, you got to be concerned about, okay, he sounds the way he sounds over my beat. How can I make him sound even better? What should I add to my beats to make him sound better? Maybe if I did more drops in this beat. Maybe if I, you know, added some more musicianship behind it. Maybe one, it would make him sound better. And two, maybe people who listen and feel the same way about him that you feel, they look at him and say, yeah, man, he's not that good, but that music behind it is amazing. Who produced that? All of a sudden, you getting customers based upon somebody who just for a second ago wasn't worth shit to you. You got to really look at it and prioritize it and say, you know, is it important? How important is it for me to get off this temporary feeling that I have? You know, or maybe you don't have a temporary feeling. Maybe you think it's going to be garbage forever. But whatever feeling that you have, it's something that is not, I wouldn't want that kind of a feeling to represent me in the long run. So really reprioritize things and understand that you're running a business. This is not, you know, you're not Siskel and Ebert. You're not just giving out a bunch of, you're not LA Times giving out a bunch of, you know, critiques. That's not your job. People are out here who do that for full time. You are a businessman. You are a producer. You are a rapper. Whatever it is you do, it is not your job. If you got time to critique everything and everybody walking, you're not doing your job. Once again, it's another Curtspiration. Doodle. If you need some more of this juice, please subscribe to the channel below. Be a part of the notification gang. Hey. Patreon supporters, I want to thank you once again for always being there to support this and continue this. All this stuff is going. We already got past our goals. Shout out to Airbit for investing into our upgrades, and you know, thank you guys for allowing me to basically share your channel and give the same information to other producers who need it. Please, if you're not subscribed to the Airbit channel, go there now. We passed 2 of our major goals, and it's because of the Patreon supporters. And every Patreon supporter, I don't care if you gave $1, you're important to me, super important to me. But thank you. We got past the studio upgrades. We got past the podcasting equipment, and we got more news to come. Now the next thing for me on tap, gotta get to this Les Brown Professional School of Speaking. That is the goal. We're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. There's never been a time where I said we're gonna do something and it didn't get done. To reiterate what I was talking about earlier, money versus criticism, you decide which one is more important for you and for your business in the long run. A year from now, will it matter if you feel like a garbage rapper has rapped over your beat, and whether or not you said something to him or not, will it matter in a year? If you really answer that question honestly, you're gonna say it's not gonna matter. What's gonna matter is that you have more people who are at the core. Forget about this person as a creative. At the core, that's a real man or a real woman who's willing to invest into something they could have stole. Could have stole your beat and rapped over your tags. But they chose to invest in what you're doing. That's a real human being to me. And I think you should focus more on that than just the creative. You want to give constructive criticism, do it behind closed doors, do it respectably, and talk to them if it's really that big of a situation to you. You know? So, like I always say, in this life, you would not be full of life until you decide to live life to its fullest. Curtis King of CurtisKingBeats.com.
I can't listen to you. When I listen to you, it's a liability. Cause you be mentally killing my inner energy. So I'm concealing my feelings before you injure me.